I'm guessing that many of you might think that today's episode, following after the full council meeting, will be silly behaviour. I mean, there was a bit of it. But it was pretty good, really. Wendy did her thing about the wish to have the chair of the meetings elected in a certain way, which got, and if you remember, in one of the other meetings, it got rejected. It was a sort of everybody bar Wendy result. She's probably quite used to that now. But she brought it up at the full council meeting, and very oddly, the vote was exactly the same. Everybody just proposed to keep it exactly the same as it was, and so that was the case there. But I'm not going to bore you with that, because I'm going to talk about something completely different. Now, in one of the previous meetings, something happened, and it was just a sort of bit of a throwaway topic. I didn't pay too much attention to it until it was mentioned again at the meeting. This is the item I mean.
To consider the prospective sale of ancient woodland at Foxburrow Woods, including any options available to the town council. I don't know who was first, but I'll go to Councillor Brooks first.
Well, I'll just say, Wendy, in relation to email correspondence of the last 2 days, can you not make any reference to that? And if there's anything you want to discuss about that, can we do that in confidential?
I think a lot of it is going to have to go into confidential.
Okay.
So if I just give a brief outline, very brief, like 2 sentences.
Don't mention any third parties.
No, and then we go into confidential. As I hope most people have by now realised, Foxburrow Wood, that is privately owned. It adjoins Gunton Wood. It's 5.5 acres of ancient woodland. Very important to Lowestoft for its role in combating carbon emissions. Very important for health and well-being. It's up for sale. We had 2 extremely well attended meetings locally to discuss where people would like to go from there. The rest of this now needs, I think, to be discussed in confidential.
Okay.
The one thing that always annoys me about trying to follow the council activities is where they go into secret squirrel mode. And I do understand the need for that. You know, if you're going to talk about tenders and bids and things that, you don't want people to know before you make decisions, well, then you need to talk about it in private. And I totally get that. But I am seeing more and more items that, despite the little rider that they put about the public interest, seem to be moved into confidential just to not let people know what's going on. And that's exactly what happened there. Foxburrow Woods. Emails have been going round, and Andy Pearce reminding Wendy, who has a habit of her lips blab a bit, reminding Wendy not to mention the content of any of the emails that have been doing the rounds. And then Wendy talks about the Foxburrow Woods thing in very general terms. So my spider sense started to tingle. So clearly we're not going to find out what they talked about in private session, because it may or may not be a genuine private discussion topic. We don't know. We'll never be told. So I thought the simplest thing to do was to go to Foxburrow Woods. And I met lots of interesting people. And what do you think of this? Well, I don't know much about woodland, but this is a really pretty place. This is Foxburrow Wood. This is the wood that everybody's been talking about. The one that was up for sale for 40 odd thousand quid, didn't sell, up for 20,000 quid or so, still didn't sell. And I thought I'd come down and have a look at it. And there's loads of people I've met this morning as well. Some really nice people walking dogs and things like that. And they've been telling me all about it. And it would appear it belongs to Tubby, or the Tubby family, who built this large part of the estate here. So the actual wood belongs to somebody who wants to actually sell it, So there is a rumour going round, and certainly both the people I spoke to this morning said the same thing. Lowestoft Town Council are going to buy it. Now, I've got no idea if that's true or not, because at the last meeting, of course, Andy Pearce very cleverly said to Wendy about all the emails going round and don't mention what's in them and things like that. Well, clearly all the residents around here are hoping that Lowestoft Town Council do buy the wood. I mean, and to be honest, it's a really nice place. I guess the problem is not actually the initial purchase, but the running costs of keeping a wood like this in good condition. I've discovered a couple of little bits where the kids have been drinking beer and they've just left a pile of cans and stuff like that. So there's obviously a need to do that sort of tidying up. But equally there's a few trees that have fallen over, and the residents told me that from time to time they've actually just come in and chopped them out of the way and moved them so the paths are free. But it's actually a really nice place. Well, I've managed to get to the other side of the wood near Gainsborough Drive End. It's been a really nice time. Now, if the rumours people are telling me are true, and Councillors Brooks and Pearce are actually trying to sort of move this thing forward in terms of maybe the council taking it over, buying it and looking after it. Now, it's going to cost a lot of money, isn't it? They've got to buy it, they've got to look after it. So it's going to be an ongoing expense. But just in the hour that I've spent here today, this is a gorgeous place and should be protected. I know it's got lots of tree preservation orders and all sorts of other sort of covenants on it that mean it's open to the public as if it was public land, which of course it's not. But we need to actually encourage this sort of green space, and if there is a chance that it can be taken into the council's ownership, then when they get to the stage when they can talk about it publicly, I really think everybody should really get behind this one. We spend a lot of money on things in Lowestoft, on things that are sort of, yeah, good ideas-ish. I can't see anybody complaining that preserving something like this is a waste of money. So I'll certainly put my weight behind it. Not that it counts so much, but most people, I'm sure, in Lowestoft don't even know this place exists, only the locals. And we need to make sure that woodland that goes back to the Middle Ages is still here for our grandkids and their grandkids. So anyway, that's today's video. Look after yourselves, take care, see you on the next one.